everybody. Welcome back to the Right Amount of Rant podcast. I am your host, Rival, joined as always by my good friend, Julian. Say hi, Julian.
Hello, everybody.
We've got a plethora of topics for you today. We've got some stuff we want to rant about, and hopefully you guys want to hear our stupid and asinine opinions. We're going to go ahead and jump immediately into it. First of all, Julian, how you been this week? How you been?
It's been a rough week. My arm hurts, and work has been tough, but I'm still hanging. Nothing too bad to complain about, but it's been one of those weeks that I wish it was over. Thank God it's over.
It is almost, well, it's over for you. It's almost over for me. I've got to work today, but that's not a bad deal. Okay, you know what? It's not been bad for me either, all things considered, despite the fact that someone said they wanted to, they hated me so much they wanted to take a dump on my face. That's an entirely different topic. We'll get into that at another time.
Okay.
All right, so we've been looking up some stuff, and we've been having some discussions off the podcast this week. And one of the things that has come up sort of time and time again for us is the topic of college. Now, some of you may actually be in college. Some of you may be taking courses. Some of you may be listening to this right now while you're going to college instead of actually going to class. First of all, I applaud you. Yes, good choice. Second of all, you may be throwing your money away in more ways than you know.
Probably.
Now, the older I get, first of all, full disclosure, I went to college and then I stopped going to college because I realized that they were screwing me.
That makes us too.
They're screwing me really bad. I almost graduated with a degree, but they messed with me so bad. I said, I'm out. I don't even want to have anything to do with this. So,
Damn.
Yeah, I almost got, it was, we're not going to talk about that specifically.
Well, so just quickly, what was the degree for?
My degree was in mathematics. I was going to be a math teacher.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love math. Like, when people go, I hate math, I was like, I will drown you in water.
Until the bubble stops.
I will hold you underwater until the bubble stops because math is fundamental. It's fundamental. Math is fantastic. I loved it. I did so much math that I did calculus without a calculator. That's how much math I did. Nice. I did like roots and square roots and all the other stuff. My brain was in its top performing zone when I was in college. I could do all the math that you can think of without a calculator. I never pulled out a calculator because my teachers, when my calculus teachers, my engineering degree teachers, when we would take tests and quizzes and stuff, we had a quiz every week and a test every week, and we were not allowed to use calculators on the test or quizzes. And they're like, you can use it on the homework, but we recommend you not because then you'll not know how to do it when it comes to the quizzes and tests. And so I didn't use a calculator, and that's a far stead from where I currently am, where my brain just goes, what's 2 + 5 again? It really it takes me a second to go, hold on. 7. Okay. Yes,
5.
It's 7.
Oh no.
It's 7. So yeah,
Anyways.
What you said you went to college as well, Julian?
I tried to graduate for graphic designer, and I realized it was kind of a waste of my time because graphic designer is one of the few careers that you don't need a degree for. One of my teachers said, anyone who could use Photoshop can be a graphic designer. That's what boils down to.
Yes.
And he's right. He's right.
Well, I mean, with something like graphic design, it's so strange to me because especially with something leaning more toward artistic, you can train yourself how to use Photoshop. You don't need a college degree to do that. And oftentimes the ones who do it a lot on their own, trying to create what they want to create, or even like freelancing or commissions or something, they're going to have far more experience using it than someone who only learned how to use it in college.
Yeah, the thing with college is that they don't only teach you how to use Photoshop, they actually teach you the fundamentals of, logos and why things are designed this way. And that's fine and dandy, but you can still learn that on your own. You don't really need a degree for that.
And one of the things is that you can, if you go to a company and you show them what you can do, then being able to show that you're capable of these things and you understand these things is going to go far, far further than having a degree in that stuff. Now, obviously, if you have a degree and you can show those things, it has a little bit more weight to it. But if you have a degree versus someone who outranks you as far as talent goes, they're probably going to pick the person with talent because they can simply mold them to what they want them to do versus you, who they're going to have to teach how to do everything and assist in getting better with the skill that they're trying to hire you for. So
yeah, and even then, that doesn't guarantee anything. You can be a master of using Photoshop, Illustrator, or any graphic design tool, but if you don't have the creativity, it's basically a waste.
Yes, exactly. And I know a couple of people who are, God bless them. God bless them. I know one person especially who is technically capable when it comes to using Photoshop, but has absolutely no creativity, to the point where if I tell them explicitly what I want, explicitly down to the absolute most finite details of what I want, that is not what I get back.
I know who you're referring to. And
what I get back is far less creative than what I gave them. And it's infuriating from a certain perspective. And it's just like, really? You couldn't take my idea and make it better. You didn't even give me the stuff that I asked you for. You didn't take what I asked you for and made it better or like exceeded my expectations. Instead, you gave me a pile of crap. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I've been to college. Julian has been or discussed college at the very minimum.
Yes.
And I can say this to anyone who's thinking about going to college, has been to college and dropped out like I did. College is not for everyone. It's not. And we know we were kind of bringing this up now because it's been a little bit of a topic that we've been discussing on the back end of things. But also, it's the fall semester. It's November. Kids are kind of like in the middle of everything. They're getting ready to take care of that. And by the way, if you're 18 to 22, you are a kid to me. I'm sorry. It's not it. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I am 35 years old. You are young as hell to me.
And I'm 27.
Julian is still young to me. He's almost a kid. He's almost a kid. But no, I've seen enough and I've done enough. And back in my day. No.
Back in my day.
The whole thing is that college is not worth it. The amount of money, especially in the American system, I can't speak for the Argentinian system, but the American system, holy hell, the amount of money you're going to spend on these courses, these textbooks, they are gouging you for something that in all likelihood, you're not going to use. I know so many people who have gone to college, have gotten degrees, and they don't use the degrees in any fashion whatsoever. My buddy's ex-wife, she has a degree in psychology. Do you know what she does, Julian?
What does she do?
She has been working at the behind a deli counter at a Kroger at a grocery market for like 2 years now. She has a full-on master's degree in psychology. She slices hams.
Actually,
that's what she does for
psychology is one of actually all kind of psychology is actually one hard career to tackle down.
Well, here's the problem. She wanted to get a degree in psychology, but she didn't want to be a psychologist, and she wanted like master level teaching is what she wanted to do with it. But then she doesn't like teaching.
Okay, so what the hell? Why did she do it then?
Dude, I don't know her. She's my buddy's ex-wife. I don't talk to her anymore. That's not the point. The point is, she has a master's degree in psychology, and she's also batshit insane. That's an entirely different topic. That's an entirely different topic. That's neither here nor there. My buddy's going to get a hell of a laugh when he listens to this. That's not the point. The point is, she has a master's degree. She has like $80,000 in student loan debt. And that's not including the stuff that she has paid toward it, or rather my buddy has paid toward it because never mind. We're getting wildly off topic with this one. The point is, she has $80,000 in student loan debt. and she's slicing hams. She's how thick do you want the ham? How thick do you want this cheese? And she's working behind a deli counter. And I don't really think, like, that's not a good use of a psychology degree. You're not going to mind trick someone into buying more ham. Or maybe she is. Maybe that's her calling. But this is the kind of stuff I see on a daily basis. I knew a man when I worked at UPS, not to drop names or anything. When I was a package handler for UPS, I knew a man there who was godforsaken. He was brilliant. Also kind of an a-hole, but that's different. He was brilliant. And he had a master's level in mathematics and engineering. Now,
right.
He could have designed the building. But instead he was doing my job for the same hourly rate. That was literally a walk-in, get paid this much, and that was it. It was an entry-level position. So it's one of those things where...
But hang on, did he at least try to get a job related to his degree?
Oh, yeah. No, he tried, and then he gave up, and he was just like, I'll just do this.
Because I can understand people getting a degree and not finding a job. That's basically what happens to everyone, or most of us, who got a degree and can't find a job because they don't hire you because you're not experienced enough. But taking in consideration the previous example, she got a degree and she's not using it at all. That's completely ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but that's also, I mean, look at some of the degrees. Look at some of the degrees, especially the ones that are like prevalent nowadays. You have anything, and I'm going to make this very clear. Any degree in any kind of art field is worthless. 100%, yes. Without exception, yes. Any degree in any art field is worthless. The reason I can say this agree. Is because if you end up going, oh, I'm going to go modern art. What in the hell are you going to do with that? If the purpose of getting a degree is to further your job likelihoods, especially in the field for which you are getting the degree in,
art is really not the one.
To be an artist, you do not have to have a degree under any circumstances. In fact, one of my favorite artists ever is self-taught, never went to college, and lives in a small country that most of the houses don't have indoor plumbing, much less colleges.
Jesus.
They don't have that. But this person is incredible, self-taught. So, no, for those that go, oh, I have to go to college to get a degree. No, you don't. We live in an age where the internet, if you want to find out something or learn how to do something, there's already 100 videos on how to do that. I promise you.
That is correct.
There is nothing that you can't search right now. If you want to find out how to do this, that, or the other, bam. If you want to look up like online free courses, bam, I guarantee they exist. I guarantee they exist. Don't get me wrong. You're going to piecemeal your education together, but you're also going to do it at your pace, and you're going to do it the way that you want to do it. And you're also not going to end up with $80,000 in student loan debts slicing hams. So, and I want to point this out. No offense to anybody out there that works behind a deli. That was not my intent. I did not mean to offend anyone who does that. My purpose was this woman who thinks of herself high and mighty is like, oh, well, I've got a master's degree in psychology. Now she works behind a deli. No, you're just one of us, lady. You're one of us. You're not better than any of us. You're working at a blue collar job like everybody else. You're not better. You're not better. Anyway. So
on the other hand, may I have the word here? May I have it, please?
May you have a word?
Yes.
Dude, you got to grab those reins. You got to jump in there. I'm like a wild bull. You can't just ask politely for a wild bull to stop rampaging. You've got to take those reins, sir.
All right, I'm gonna take the stance here and say on Thursday, I found out one of my coworkers, he works at the IT department. He actually goes on different buildings helping the employees with their issues. He's been doing this for 4 years. He's been working in the same place for 4 years, right?
Okay.
He told me that he got help from getting into the position he's right now because his brother worked there, and then he decided to move on. But he's now taking his brother's position. You know what degree he has?
Probably none.
He's a cook. He cooks for a living.
Okay.
And he's an IT guy that managed to pick up all the information he needs for working at the IT department in those 4 years.
Yeah.
He has more IT knowledge in the place I'm working at than I do. And I have a degree as a technician.
As an IT specialist?
IT technician.
Yeah.
I got a high school, well, I don't know if it's called a high school degree.
No, well, I mean, we have high school diplomas. It's slightly different.
Yes.
Your high school allowed you to specialize.
I'm still qualified as an IT technician with a high school diploma, and I have more chances to get a job than him who study for how to boil an egg, basically.
Hold on now.
Really,
let's rein that last comment back in. How to boil an egg.
What I'm trying to say is...
No. He got a degree in cooking. And let's make no mistake, cooking's hard.
I know. I can attest to that.
Cooking's not easy. For a man who only cooks chicken and rice.
YouTube... That's actually true.
Yes, you
That
only
is
cook
actually
chicken and
true.
rice. So no, you shouldn't be talking shit about anybody who knows how to actually cook, senor. So no, we're gonna rail back the whole boil an egg thing. The essence of what you're saying is, though, this man knew somebody that got him this job.
Yes.
And as a result of his hard work and dedication on the job,
yes,
he has learned more than you yourself know, who is actually specialized in that field.
Yes.
Well, that speaks to his ability to adapt and grow and learn, which is great.
Yeah, that is great. But what the problem here is, I've been told many times that in order to get a job for IT department, you need a degree or a diploma or whatever that certifies you that you're capable of doing so.
And your coworker kind of throws that out the window, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Some people will say, and I agree to a certain degree of this, it's not what you know, it's who you know that produces the opportunities for you to advance your career. Now, I find it oddly strange because the person who says, my friend who says that it's not what you know, it's who you know, and that's total BS, got his current job from that exact situation.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of like,
I think I know what you're talking about.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I'm just like, you do know you got a far better, less stressful job because of the people that you know. And it's definitely in no way because you know what you're doing in the IT field, Mr. I learned everything from Google. So
oh my God. Don't get me started on that one.
I think it's funny that he specifically brings that up. Anybody doesn't know we're talking about my best friend Hack. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm talking about my best friend Hack. And I'm like,
we love you, man.
We do love you, man. But come on now. It is true, though. It is 100% true. It's not what you know. It's who you know. Anybody can learn anything on the job as long as it's not like highly specialized, something like a brain surgeon or a rocket specialist. I just forgot. Rocket engineer. So yeah, anything not highly specialized can be learned on the job, period. Even IT that is specialized, but it's not highly specialized.
Dude, I've been told by one of my bosses to Google it. So imagine how much do you need to know and where do you need to learn this from?
Well, that guy was just a walking turd. So let's not think too highly about that. But the point of all this comes down to this. If you're in college right now, first of all, really evaluate where you actually think you'll be, not hope to be. Let's be clear on that. Where you hope to be in 2 to 3 to 4 years? No, don't think about where you hope to be. Think about, given realistic measurements, where you expect to be and include your debt in that equation. It's like, I'll be working at a zoo. Well, that's fantastic. You can go do that now.
Or, if you feel like doing so, come to Argentina. We have public universities that will only charge you for the books you need to buy.
Yeah.
And
then waste your time doing all that and get a degree you can't use for a job in a country that sucks. So
that is. Hey, no, that's actually not true.
You're the one who constantly says Argentina sucks.
No. Hang on. That is the one thing I will give my country credit for. Our universities, some of them are completely free you don't really have to pay much for it, and you get a nice degree, like one that you can use almost nice degree. Anywhere.
Look at this. I'm going to hang this on the wall. It's so nice. Don't you like that? That's so nice. That degree on the wall. It's so nice.
Are you mocking me?
Yes, I am. 100% yes.
Oh, screw you.
We're just talking about how it's not just an investment of money. It's an investment of time.
Yeah,
if
time
you don't, and remember, there was a study not long ago where essentially, if you there were so many people that decided not to go to college, and instead they ended up working and building and trying to expand in the workforce. They ended up doing better on average, not by a lot. But on average, they ended up doing slightly better than the ones who decided to essentially take 4 years off of adulting and go to college. And
one of them created Facebook.
Well, no, he was in college when he created Facebook.
Never mind.
So yeah, your argument falls flat. The point is that college we're not even going to get into the political BS that they tell you on that either. The whole thing is it's money and it's time. And even if you think someone else is fitting the bill, even if you're like, well, somebody else is paying for this, it's my parents are paying or I'm putting on student loans, unless you're getting a free ride, like seriously, a fully free ride. Like you've got a grant or something. It's one of those things where if you or someone you love is paying for it, you really need to evaluate if that's going to be worth your time. Because odds are it's not.
Even then, damn.
I don't know the exact statistics, but I'm going to make up one now. 9 out of 10 people that go to college and get a degree don't end up using it. That is in my personal experience. The people that I talk to that have degrees do not end up using their degrees at all. So obviously that's skewed. It's probably not 100% accurate, but 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 people who get degrees don't actually end up doing anything with that degree. At least not for long term. And there's so many more people that go to college, like myself and Hack, and then we go, no, this is not for me. And we back off because we get screwed over. My story, I got screwed bad. I don't even want to really go. Well, you know what? Screw it. I keep talking about it. Here's the thing. I went to a university.
Bring it.
I went to a university and I was almost done. I had 3 courses left to take, and one course was a prerequisite for the other 2 courses that I needed. Well, I ended up they only did the prerequisite course once every 2 years. Kind of strange, but once every 2 years. Now, I had to wait a semester between, I finalized everything else. I had to wait for that one to come around. Now, I had to take a semester off because I had to wait for that thing to come around. I literally had no other courses I could take, so I took a semester off. And I did some part-time work and whatnot, but I had to wait for that to come around. Now, when that finally came around, and that's the only class I could take that semester, because literally that's a prerequisite for everything else. And some people may say, well, bad planning, and I 100% agree. But I submitted to go to the course. I wanted to take that class, and less than the minimum number of people signed up for that class. They canceled the class. It was no longer offered. Now, remember, this is a prerequisite for a 500 level and 600 level math course that I have to have in order to complete my degree. It is required. It's what my advisors told me. I have to have this course. I have to have these other 2 courses. So I have to have this course. Now, when I called and said, why in the hell was this class canceled? I was told, we didn't get enough people. I said, why does that matter? I've been told multiple times I have to have this course in order to get my degree. And they said, well, just wait for it to come around again. I said, it takes 2 years for the course to be offered again. They said, well, I guess you're waiting 2 years then. And I was blown away by that.
Wow.
And it was in that moment where I said, I'm not giving you any more of my money. And I was already super pissed because if I'm going for a mathematics degree, if I want to teach mathematics, why do I need to learn a foreign language? Why do I need to learn Spanish if I want to be a math teacher? And someone might say, it makes you a more well-rounded person. I'm not paying you to make me a more well-rounded person. I'm paying you to get me the degree that now you're dragging out my attendance at your college to suck out more money by telling me I have to have all these other BS courses that have nothing to do with what I'm trying to do with my life.
Wow.
If I want to learn Spanish, I can learn Spanish. I'm not paying you to teach me Spanish. I don't want to be a translator. I don't want to move to Argentina. Spanish. I don't need to learn Spanish or German or French or any of those other languages. And no offense to those languages, but I wasn't going to college for them. So, no. You can huff and puff all you want. I don't care. The point is, okay. It's BS the way that they charge you for stuff that you don't want. Why is it I had to pay so much more money and so much more of my time for stuff I was never going to use? It did not contribute to the knowledge of my specialty field at all. So
it was literally a waste of time.
It was. And money. So
wow.
Yeah. I'm not happy with my college experience at all. And I bet a lot of other people would agree with me on that one. So yeah, I think college to a majority of us is not worth it. And I think if you're thinking of going to college or you're in college right now, I think you should firmly assess the likelihood of you using that and if it's actually worth your time. And that's the end all be all I have to say about that. Julian, do you have anything else to add about the college situation?
I have nothing else to add.
Good.
That what happened on Thursday just it was awful for me to hear, and I needed to get it out of my system.
Oh, good. All right, so I know we kind of, toward the end there, I kind of got a little kind of extra ranty there for a second. So we're going to do a quick palate cleanser with a little bit of Florida Man. So we've got several to choose from. Julian, do you want a story about a Florida man arrested for impersonating an officer again? It claims he is being unfairly targeted. Do you want to talk about a Florida man? Again, yeah, he impersonated more than once. Do you want to talk about a Florida man who allegedly threatened a family with Coldplay lyrics, ends standoff with SWAT after SWAT team promises him pizza?
What?
Or do you want to talk about the mom arrested after letting children ride in an inflatable pool on top of a car?
Let's just go with that order. The one that you just suggested.
So you want me to talk about the Florida man arrested for impersonating an officer first?
Yes, please.
All right.
Oh my God.
This one, hold on, when was this published?
Gives me shivers.
This was published yesterday. Oh, this was published on November 1st, 2019. This comes from WFLA. This is News Channel 8 is on your side for Florida. Sorry, Julian, what was that?
What a great way to start Dia de los Muertos.
Yes. A thing that we don't really celebrate down here, but it sounds fancy. All right, so in Windermere, Florida, officials released body cam footage from the man. Notice this. It's on the man's this man impersonating a cop. Just a bit of a thing for you. Actually has body cam footage. Oh, he wore a body cam. Impersonating a cop, wore a body cam. All right, so released body cam footage from the man they said was impersonating an officer. One of the clips ultimately led to his arrest for the second time. The video captures him riding on his motorcycle at high speed and crossing over lanes while weaving between cars. The video captures a Mr. James DeWitt yelling at drivers. Get the expletive over before you find out, DeWitt yells in the video to a driver. Oh, gee, okay.
Wow.
You're pretending to be a police officer, the driver responds. And Dwight responds, I know what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do.
Basically, I don't give a single S about your current situation. Let me do my job.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office said Dwight runs a company called Metro State Special Services, which includes a fleet of motorcycles and SUVs equipped with purple and amber lights. Okay? So it's not the red and blue, it's purple and yellow. Okay. Dwight was
Well, we
arrested in
haven't-
September when Windermere police said he was impersonating an officer while escorting a funeral, and then became argumentative with real officers who stopped him. After that arrest, detectives seized a body cam from him, which is where the footage of him on his motorcycle comes from. In one video from the body camera, Dwight said Dwight and his team shut down an interstate in a county in Florida while escorting a line of Corvettes. Deputies arrested Dwight on Wednesday once again. They said he was again impersonating an officer after his first arrest. According to an affidavit, his group allegedly blocked an intersection and slapped the car of an off-duty deputy driving by. Then on September 26th, Dwight is accused of directing traffic and illegally recording a phone conversation with a woman who complained about it. That video was on the body camera that Windermere police confirm was seized 19 days later. Dwight told a judge Thursday morning, there must have been a mistake. Maybe the date stamp's wrong on the camera, but that camera was taken from me and held in evidence at Windermere Police Department, Dwight said. He bounded out of jail on Thursday night, then spoke to the news. He said he believes his escort company, was unfairly targeted by the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I have been running this business for 10 years. We haven't had this problem. All of a sudden,
10 years?
That blows my mind too. All of a sudden, after all of this happened, first of all, you're directing traffic. You're directing traffic. You're like weaving in and out. But you don't have authority to do this. Anyway, quote.
Oh my God.
We take the people that don't belong, we say, get out of our future. I'm butchering this. Hold on. Dwight claims the footage from the body camera isn't just him, but from a variety of his staff's helmets. Quote, we take the people that don't belong, quote, we say, they get out of our funeral. We don't tell them to pull over. You know, I'm a cop or I'm a sheriff's deputy. No, you were behaving like a cop, man. All the way through, you were behaving like a cop. It was, pull over.
Oh my God.
You're not a cop. I know what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. No, you don't. You clearly don't.
Wow.
All right, so we can do a double dose right now, or we can do two after the next bit. What do you want to do, Julian?
I'm down with whatever you have on your list, man.
All right, we're gonna do another Florida. This time we're gonna do a Florida woman. We're gonna talk about the mom arrested after letting children ride in an inflatable pool on top of a vehicle. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
How? Okay, maybe I should listen to the.
Maybe you should. All right, this one was published on July 10th of this year. This one comes from Fox 2 from Detroit. This may not actually be a Florida woman. This may be an Illinois woman. Ooh. But he qualifies under Florida man rules of crazy and bizarre shit. So
It is in Florida man.
This is Florida man kind of level stuff. A mother was arrested after letting her children ride in an inflatable pool on top of her vehicle. According to the Dixon Police Department, 40-year-old Jennifer A. Janice Yeager was arrested on Tuesday afternoon, this being around July 10th. The department received a complaint from a concerned citizen about an Audi passenger car driving with children inside of a pool on the roof of a vehicle.
Jesus
there are
Christ
kids
almighty.
in a kiddie pool on top of a car while she's driving it down the street. I
mean, in the mind of the kids, that must be the most amazing thing ever.
Sure. Also, not the safest place for them ever. All right. They said that officers searched the area and observed a white Audi Q5 driving with a blue inflatable pool on the roof with two juveniles inside of the pool. A traffic stop was conducted on the vehicle. Officers said that they learned that Yeager drove into town to inflate the pool at a friend's house and had her two juvenile daughters ride inside of the empty pool to hold it down. On their drive home.
Sure, Captain. Oh my
Yeager was
goodness
reportedly
gracious.
arrested for 2 counts of endangering the health or life of a child and 2 counts of reckless conduct. She was also cited for failure to secure a passenger of the age of 8 and under the age of 16. She was transported to Dixon Police Department, where she was processed and released after posting bond. The Dixon Police Department said that all charges are merely an allegation and the defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. I have a picture of it.
That wasn't me. That was my sister, my twin sister. You got nothing on me.
Yeah, it was totally not me. It was absolutely not me. You want to see a picture of this pull on top of my car? No, it was dumb as hell. All right.
Wow.
All right. So that was a good palate cleanser. That was dumb enough for us to move on to our next rant. And this one actually is going to touch home with Julian and something that I actually mentioned a little bit earlier. We're going to discuss.
And I keep mentioning all my social medias.
And all of his social medias, link down below. All of his stuff. A lot of the things that he rants about is based on his country of Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it comes down. I swear, if you get on top of that meaty, I will turn you into mittens. So, my cat. For those that don't know, we're not in any kind of like professional studio. We're not professionals per se. I'm in a robe and my underwear, and we're recording this I'm recording it from my house. I don't know what Julian's wearing. Julian, what are you wearing right now?
I'm just wearing pajamas.
Yeah, we're total professionals. This is early on a Saturday morning. We're just recording stuff. We're just talking to you people.
We don't have a camera pointing at our faces. Why would we need to dress up fancy?
Yeah, you're right. I was lying. I'm naked. So
nice.
So
anyway,
yeah, no, it's only approaching winter. I'm freezing my coconuts off. So here's the thing.
Oh my
Julian has had some wee words about his country recently, and he wants to talk about things like wasn't it import fees, like the weird import fees, and then the overall cost and why it's BS. So Julian, take it away.
Okay. Yesterday, I tried to find a specific product I found on Amazon, or actually on the internet, that I wanted to get so badly.
What was that product, by the way?
It was a electric precise screwdriver.
Okay.
Like, it's an electric screwdriver that is the size of a pen, and it looked pretty cool.
Now, how much would it have just cost for you?
So the ones I cannot find any in my country. First and foremost, the one I can find is a sort of substitute of that one, but I don't fully trust it, and it cost me around 2,500 pesos, which would represent around $40. Which doesn't sound too much, right?
Okay, no, it's not too bad.
I'm not buying it because it is not the same one that I saw on this YouTube video. So I did a little research. I found out that we cannot get it in my country. The product in question costs around $50 to $60, depending on the version you end up finding, which is still a reasonable price. Now, the one that I want to get, I couldn't find it on Amazon, so that could ship it to my country. So I found alternatives that looked okay. This one costs $30, and it says it will deliver to Argentina. Now, the price is $30. They also charged me for Amazon Global Shipping $34.
Okay, global shipping is usually expensive. Okay.
Yeah. And an estimated import fee deposit is of $97 freaking dollars.
So you have to pay not just the shipping, but to import this thing in is going to cost you nearly $100.
I had to pay at least $161.79 for importing a $30 product. In what world do you charge almost more than 3 times the regular price of a product like that? $30 plus $34. I can accept that, but almost $100 for import fees.
And is there any kind of like justification they give you as to for the what are you actually paying the fees for?
I have no idea. Like it doesn't say anything on Amazon at least, and I couldn't find any feasible information as for why do I have to pay almost 3 times the original price of a product added. It's not that I have to pay $100 in total. It's $161 or a $30 product.
Is it because that product isn't made in your country or something, and they're like charging that fee?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's not made in my country. I couldn't find this alternative either in my country or any store in my country.
See, that's a really weird thing because in America, it's if we go, oh, we can't find that in our country, that's incredibly unusual.
Yeah, that's one thing. You guys have everything. You have the cool stuff. I want the cool stuff, but in order to get the cool stuff, I have to pay $100 extra. Why?
Well, no, that's not true. You could just save up from all the import fees and just move to America and get all the free stuff without import fees.
I want to do that so badly.
Yeah, well, stop buying $30 products for nearly $200.
Oh, God.
Just saying.
This is just the one product I so happened to find. I actually had the option to import things from the from this website I buy my stuff. I usually buy my stuff. They gave you the option to import things, which prices will go a little overboard, sure, but it will still be cheaper, and you don't end up spending $100 extra. You end up paying like what, $20 extra? But thing is, Amazon, why $100?
Well, it's not Amazon doing it, dude. It's your country.
My country customs, why I have to pay $100 for a $20, $161 final price for a $30 product? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
This is BS.
It is.
My country sucks and it keeps sucking worse.
You gotta hate it when things suck poorly. Don't get me wrong, I like it when things suck good. I'm not really a fan of when things suck bad. But there are a lot of things going on with Argentina a lot of people may not know. Like, I'm
pretty sure everybody knows.
You were telling me recently about there was a one of the most what is it? One of the most corrupt, according to you anyway. I don't keep up on Argentinian politics, but like one of the most corrupt presidents of all time was recently reelected, but as the vice president.
That is correct.
But basically, the president and vice president, the most corrupt person in their history, are kind of basically from the same vein.
Not to mention the one who will run as president used to be one of her peons. So, if it is not clear at this point, the new president might be
a Nazi. Silence. That's a no. Okay.
No, I'm actually. The thing is that she got involved into something related with the Nazis, so...
What? I was just shooting in the dark as a joke. I didn't think that was real. Please, tell us why this person is corrupt.
Oh my god. Well, the thing is, she's been president for 8 years prior to our current president, which has not been reelected.
So what did she do, though?
According to batimes.com.r, there has been discovered another corruption charge for Fernandez de Kirchner as cases mount up.
I'm sorry, was that a name you just spoke, or did your tongue have a seizure?
No, actually that was a name. Fernandez de Kirchner.
Fernandez de Kirchner.
Actually, she's not the Kirchner anymore. His husband is dead. He used to be president. He was also one of the most corrupted presidents in the entire history of Argentina. And she followed his steps. But now he's, in quotation marks, dead. So,
de Kirchner.
Whatever. Anyways.
Not de Kirchner.
So, as the article reads here.
Is this article about Kirchner?
The Kirchner, yes.
Kirchner.
Anyways.
You would know, wouldn't you, you Nazi-looking guy. Anyway.
Former President Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner was charged with a new corruption case for the second day running on Tuesday afternoon, this time related to irregularities in the concession of subsidies for train and bus operators. Former head of state was charged with illicit association, bribery, and fraudulent administration.
Sweet. Those are some actually pretty decent charges too. All right.
And these are being piled up. This is not the first time she did this.
So what you're saying is that she likes to run with people that pay her to turn her back on all the illicit things going on?
Yep. A previous incident has been handed down 24 hours before on Monday for the fraudulent import of liquid gas, bringing the number of cases against her to 10.
Did you say the fraudulent import of liquid gas?
Yeah, that's what the article says. Yep.
Your country is weird.
Federal Judge Claudio Bonadillo,
who is soon going to be dead, but all right, continue.
I'm surprised at this point that he's not. Anyways, asked that Fernandez de Kirchner be renamed in pre-trial custody with bail of 1 billion pesos.
De Kirchner, so like $45?
Which, by that point in time, jeez.
It will be soon enough. We just wait it out.
Oh my god, that's actually not untrue. So yeah, I'm gonna give you that. So at that timing point, according to this article, it was $25 million. Jesus Christ,
Wow.
from 1 billion pesos to oh my god, that's sad and it hurts my feelings.
$25 million. Jeez.
Yeah.
Like, man, you've done some bad stuff. Your bond is $25 million. Holy hell.
Yeah, but the thing is, she has the money for that.
Well, yeah, she's been
But
taking
she's
all
not-
these bribes, man. That's
Dude, her
I know
Dude,
it's
her-
me and you're a good friend of mine and I shouldn't say this, but
you can say it.
that's actually hilarious. Like, how bad do you have to be when people finally catch you doing something going, all right, so your bond is going to be like $25 million. And I go, holy hell. That's like a tenth
Dude,
of all the money I stole. So,
But yeah, 1 billion pesos hurts a lot.
so Julian was essentially very upset with the import fees and basically the direction his country is falling apart with.
And every day keeps getting worse.
Yeah, every day it gets a little worse. You can tell here at the Right Amount of Rant podcast, we are 100% prepared every time. Every time we are prepared.
Yes, we are prepared.
All right, so a little bit of a palate cleanser. We're going back to the one and only Florida Man. This one is, as I've read earlier, Florida man who allegedly, in quotes, threatened family with Coldplay lyrics, ends standoff after SWAT team promises him pizza.
Sorry, threatening it with what?
Coldplay lyrics.
But
You know a Florida man now. You cannot claim to not understand. Not understanding is
I'm gonna be the next Florida man. I'm gonna threaten a family with a feather. I'm gonna tickle them to death. Anyway, go on.
Tickle them to death. I don't want to know what you. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about your sex life. It's fine. We'll just keep going. I don't want to know about it. So, all right. This one is actually a little bit of an older one. This was published late February of this year, but we haven't gotten around to it. So, article comes from FoxNews.com. A Florida man accused of accused of threatening his family by texting them Coldplay lyrics and warning them of retribution from his, quote, Nazi prison associates, end quote, was persuaded by police to end a standoff in return for a fresh slice of pizza, reports say. Evan Charles McLemore, under the belief that SWAT team negotiators were ready to hand him one of America's favorite foods, was taken into custody Tuesday, late February, following a 4-hour confrontation at a Pensacola, Florida home. Okay?
Wow.
Never underestimate the power of pizza with flavored crust, said the Pensacola Police Department, as they wrote on Facebook, while adding officers, quote, cannot comment on the rumors about pineapple being on said pizza.
I'm just going to say this once. That is an awful idea.
Screw this guy. He's threatening people and he's a Florida man. Who cares?
No, I'm talking about pineapple on pizza.
That is another thing we'll get into. We'll discuss that next week.
All right.
It was not immediately clear if responding officers even gave the man a slice of pizza. But they did deliver him charges of resisting an officer without violence and aggravated stalking, according to the Pensacola News Journal. The newspaper says the incident unfolded after police initially responded to a call about possible battery and reported learning McLemore had barricaded himself inside a room at the home. The suspect, added, had called out that he had a gun to his head and he was not going back to prison no matter what it took. Apparently what it took was a piece of pizza. After numerous attempts to lure McLemore out of the room proved unsuccessful, SWAT was called in and they deployed the big guns, the promise of a pizza pie. Prior to his arrest, McLemore was wanted by police for aggravated stalking, the Pensacola News Journal reported, with his stepmother claiming in February that he held a knife to his grandmother's throat and threatened to kill her.
Oh.
Such a pleasant fella. An arrest report viewed by the Pensacola News Journal also said McLemore has previously threatened to harm people by telling them that his, quote, Nazi, end quote, associates from prison would pay them a visit. McLemore's family eventually cut off communications with him. No, can't imagine why. But not before he sent them one text with the Coldplay lyrics, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
Wow. Wait, what song is that?
I have no idea. That feels probably horribly out of context for the rest of the song.
I'm gonna look this
hold
up.
on. The report said the lyrics from the song Fix You were meant by the band to be uplifting, though it's unclear how Macklemore may have meant them. So
uplifting?
Well, hold on. Here's the thing. We can't take that one snippet out of so much context. We have to
use that quote for threatening a family for a slice of pizza. Damn it! How can we take this seriously? We don't. We clearly don't. This is
Well, no, you're not. You're giggling a little Argentinian
so
butt off. Do I take it seriously? No, not 100%. No, he clearly heard this. He's like, this sounds threatening. I'm going to put this in there. He paid a bond of $100,000 and is due to appear in court in 3 weeks. That was in February. We have no updates on him at this time. But by the way, for the record, there's no indication that he actually got his pizza. And that makes me smile the most of all. So call me an a-hole, but that's what we're going with. All right, so we're running a little long once again. This seems to be a thing that happens when we start off really strong, and then we have that dip in the middle, and then we go back to the. So this one I'm going to have a little bit of an opinion on because it's mind-blowingly just
stupid,
self-indulgent. It's stupid, but it's stupid pretending to be like big brain.
Smart.
It's stupid trying to be way smarter than it is. And it's really, really stupid. So I have an article here listed on thedailywire.com. I just happened to look up weird stories and stuff. And it says SpongeBob SquarePants is a, quote, violent, racist colonizer, end quote, says a college professor. So, Julian, you've seen SpongeBob, right?
I've seen SpongeBob.
You've seen the Spongers. You've seen SpongeBob. I'm not even a fan of SpongeBob. Okay? Some of you out there may be like, oh man, I love to get high and watch SpongeBob. That's fine. Do you. Just, don't involve me in that. I'm not a big fan of SpongeBob. I think it can be fun. I'm just not, it's not my jam. It's not my jizzy jams. I kind of leave SpongeBob on the wayside. It's
targeted to kids.
It's marketed toward kids. They have a very large, 18 to 25-year-old demographic, though. All right, so.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so everybody knows who lives in a pineapple under the sea. It's SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
He is iconic. And he's over 20 years old at this point. More than 20 years of this cartoon have been going on.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I know. You don't really think about that, but that's a fact right now.
I don't.
Okay?
Damn.
Okay. So the thing here is, so I'm going to continue reading the article real quick. The animated Sponge spends his days getting into wacky adventures alongside with his buddies Patrick Starfish, Squidward Tentacles, and Mr. Krabs. And without speaking down to children, the lovable, adorable, absorbent square doles out some life lessons along the way. But
hang on, where's Sandy?
She's not really a friend. She's more like. I'm sorry. Are you really upset we didn't include the squirrel?
I'm offended now. I'm out of here.
Get over it, sissy. So,
okay.
But a University of Washington professor thinks SpongeBob is violent and racist. And that's not a joke. Holly M. Barker has penned a piece titled Unsettling SpongeBob and the Legacies of Violence on Bikini Bottom. What the? What? Now, I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna do my ill-prepared retort, but just bear with me on this, okay? I'm reading the quote from the professor here. Billions of people around the world are well acquainted with SpongeBob SquarePants and the antics of the title character and his friends of Bikini Bottom. By the same token, there is an absence of public discourse about the whitewashing of violent American military activities through SpongeBob's occupation and reclaiming of the bottom of Bikini Atoll's lagoon. SpongeBob SquarePants and his friends play a role in normalizing the settler colonial takings of indigenous lands while erasing the ancestral Bikinian people from their non-fictional homeland, reads the abstract from Barker's piece, excuse me. Barker's abstract asserts that SpongeBob has colonized, Bikini Bottom. the underwater home to the lovable characters, and claims the cartoon is, quote, whitewashing the, quote, violent American military activities against natives on Pacific Islands, especially the Bikini Atoll and the Marshall Islands, used by the U.S. military for nuclear testing. The Bikini Atoll remains uninhabitable, and some conspiracy theorists claim the cast of SpongeBob SquarePants were mutated by the testing. Okay. Barker declares that as an, quote, American character allowed to live there, SpongeBob shows his privilege of not caring about the detonation of nuclear bombs. SpongeBob's presence on Bikini Bottom continues the violent and racist exploitation of indigenous peoples from their lands, and in this case, their cosmos, that enables U.S. powers to extend their military and colonial interest in a post-world era. Barker even rips the theme song, saying it denounces Bikini Bottom as full of nautical nonsense.
This whole article makes no sense. Oh my
God. No.
What?
The article is trying to point out why it makes no sense.
Oh,
this professor makes no sense. Oh, it denounces Bikini Bottom as full of nautical nonsense. I'm sorry. It says, if nautical nonsense be something you wish, then drop on the deck and flop like a fish. It's meant for kids. It's a joke. It's meant to say, hey, this show is not going to take itself seriously. Please flop on the floor and flop like a fish. That's it. Wow. What? Who in their right mind takes SpongeBob seriously?
Well, this guy from the university.
Clearly.
So.
By the way, it is a young lady, just so you know.
Oh, sorry, lady.
The song's directives in scorn and humor provide the viewer with an active role in defining Bikini Bottom as a place of nonsense, as the audience is instructed, quote, if nautical nonsense be something you wish, drop on the deck and flop like a fish, she wrote. How do you take yourself so seriously?
Someone has too much free time on their hands to write this stuff.
Barker says the children's show is full of gender bias as well, writing, quote, all of the main characters of the show are male. Sandy Cheeks, a squirrel that lives underwater with the aid of an old-fashioned diving suit, is, of course, a female. But Barker says she's just a token. She's supposedly one of the most badass characters on that show, where her and SpongeBob, and yes, I have watched SpongeBob, like practice karate. And it's not karate. It's karate. Let's be perfectly honest here. And karate.
There we go.
But like she's better at him in almost every physical aspect. She's stronger than him. She's more capable. Mm-hmm. She's smarter than he is on everything. How is she a token? She's like a scientist. She's into martial arts. She has hobbies. She's a fully rounded, fleshed out character. But she's not always where SpongeBob is. She's doing her own thing, which I would think point to her independence as a character, not constantly having to be around the main character. She's so independent she doesn't have to be there all the time. But no, she's a token. Just right off the female. All right, that's fine. I think you're being sexist, lady. In conclusion, Barker writes, we should be uncomfortable with a hamburger-loving American community occupying of Bikini's lagoon in the ways that it erodes every aspect of sovereignty. Quote, nautical nonsense indeed.
Oh, God.
All right.
What the hell?
All right. I'm going to grab your shovels because I'm digging in. So we're doing this, okay? This is...
Bring it.
Remember, this is a professor. What is she a professor of again?
She studied on university.
She comes from the University of Washington. Okay, this is a Holly M. Barker. Okay, kids, we just talked about college. These are the types of people that are in college teaching classes.
Wow.
Do you seriously believe the producers of SpongeBob read up on all of that stuff that you talked about? Do you actually think SpongeBob, a child's cartoon about a lovable idiot who loves working for a greedy, money-hungry tycoon. Which, by the way, if there's any token character in this show, it's Mr. Krabs. He is a greedy capitalist. And I love capitalism, but he's a greedy capitalist. All he wants is money.
He's the definition of greediness.
He actually doesn't pay attention to his daughter as much as he needs to. And he feels bad sometimes maybe, but then there's money to be made. And he's all about making money. He is probably the least fleshed out character in the 20 years. And yet I know he's been fleshed out. But he's more of a token than Sandy by a long shot. So I don't know where you're getting your opinions out of your ass, clearly, because your head's up there. Yeah. But the point is...
we're talking... Oh my God.
The point is...
Money's always right.
It's SpongeBob. SpongeBob, the character, the titular character, is a very... No one's confused if SpongeBob's smart or not. Okay? No one thinks SpongeBob's going to suddenly start curing cancer. SpongeBob's an idiot. SpongeBob is an idiot, and that's the way we like our SpongeBob. It's okay. SpongeBob is hardworking. SpongeBob is dedicated to his friends. SpongeBob is an honest person most of the time. He's a good, well-rounded character because if you find someone like SpongeBob, they're going to be a good, well-rounded person. Okay?
Despite the fact he's a square.
Did you just make a geometry joke at me?
Hey, you said a well-rounded character. He's a square.
Actually, he's more of a rhombus, but whatever.
He's more of a rectangle,
He's more of a rhombus, but I'm not even going to get into the mathematical whatever. So here's the thing. Then we got Patrick Starfish. Patrick is dumber than SpongeBob by a degree in which he can nail a plank of wood to his forehead, and he doesn't really notice it.
He lives under a rock, quite literally.
Quite literally. That's how out of touch he is. He lives under a rock. Okay. Okay. Now, when SpongeBob gets in trouble for his stupid antics, no one's shocked. No one is surprised when SpongeBob gets in trouble. SpongeBob does get in trouble. A lot. It's 20 years of cartoons. Ultimately, it's this, okay? It's like any piece of art. If you watch a movie and you watch an art review, and the train's gonna look like it's veering here for a second, but it's still on the same track. Just follow it for me, okay? If you watch a movie review and they go into the symbolism, this, that, and the other, how look at the symbolism of this angle, and look at how they emphasize it with this color and blah blah blah, and then you listen to the director and goes, oh no, purple's just my favorite color. That's why I put her in a purple dress. It's because I like purple. When in reality, the director, the one who basically dictates all this stuff, doesn't have a deep underlying meaning, but then someone writes about how it had a deep underlying meaning. No, it really didn't. There is no deep underlying meaning to SpongeBob. There is no whitewashing of SpongeBob, considering it's a very vibrant community. And all this talk about the natives and all this other stuff, it's Bikini Bottom. There's not a whole lot of talk of natives. And you can say that is whitewashing, or you can just say that this is the community. This is the way the community has always been, literally always been, and will always be, because it's SpongeBob. It's Bikini Bottom. It was designed to be a simple community in which a simple sponge flipped delicious burgers and then went home to his delightful snail Gary, and he had fun little antics. It was never meant to be complicated. You have overcomplicated a children's show, and in doing so, you have made yourself look like a conspiracy theorist. It's more asinine than I know how to emphasize. And yes, I'm not a professor.
Maybe she's right and we're wrong.
You know what?
I mean, I know that I'm trying to defend her point of view.
You know what?
But
No, that's fine. Play devil's advocate. Go down that road and let's see where this one takes you. Let's see if I can win this argument. Please make your argument about how she may be right.
Yeah, I actually talk it out of my ass. You only hear farts here.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah, no, I cannot defend her.
You're talking so much out of your ass, I can hear an echo. So it's, no. Everybody with any reasonable sense knows.
Wow.
This woman's full of crap. She is looking specifically for the things that she claims that it has. And she's trying to glue these accusations onto SpongeBob. It's not going to fit. It's not going to stick. SpongeBob, once again, not really a big fan of SpongeBob. So I'm not really defending SpongeBob so much as I'm accusing her of going way too far with her accusations. Now, anyone can claim that I don't understand a lot of what she's accusing it of. And then I can claim it's a fucking children's show. So while you can glue all these things onto SpongeBob, my argument still remains strong. It's a simple children's show. And when you attempt to read more into it than actually is, you look like a conspiracy theorist and or a nut job who no one should listen to for any advice or information whatsoever. You're clearly distorting the way things look in order to fit a realm that you want it to fit in. So you can point out things like whitewashing and violence against natives in the Pacific Islands and, violent military, American military activities. Like you're clearly against those things, but you're trying to accuse a popular American franchise of doing that because you just want to lash out at people. You want to lash out at something. So no, I'm calling you on your BS. I'm saying to you specifically, trying to find your name, Holly M. Barker, someone who will literally never listen to this. This piece that you wrote on that is stupid. It's stupid. You've injected your own feelings onto something that does not actually have it. You are quite literally projecting these emotions onto something that it do not belong there. No, this is stupid. Now, before you go publishing something again, please remove your head from anus and rethink that option. That's all I have to say on that. So, all right. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of lost for words here. I just cannot believe this article exists in the first place.
I can't believe that professor wrote it, but the article's merely responding to the professor. That's the whole point. But it blows my mind.
It's on part of Florida Man.
It kind of belongs to Florida Man, but it's like Professor Man. Just outrageous
Professor Man
bullshit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging tight through all the renting and ranting. This one, once again, we've gone a little longer than we intended, mostly because that first one lasted for like 35 minutes. That's not the point. It's not the point. We need to really start reining in some of our rants, but we
got it all rants out.
We got our rants out, and we really appreciate you all for hanging tight. We're keeping on trucking. We enjoy doing this. By the way, for those still here, I'm not actually naked. I just want to point that out. So
I'm still wearing pajamas.
I'm in a robe. I'm in a robe, which means I'm not naked. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging tight. I really do. You guys are fantastic. Thank you all so much for being here. And on behalf of Julian and myself, I wish you all a good day.
Yes.
And as always, stay awesome, friends.